Welcome, friends, to Tanked Up, the podcast all about video games and craft beer. I'm one of your hosts, Ben, here with Lucy.
Did you say video games or craft beer?
Oh,
Or and?
I think I said and. Maybe I said or.
Okay.
It is
And or.
and or, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Depends on the week, I guess.
Yeah. Hi. Because it's only going to be about video games for me today. Because think I'm not coming down with anything, but you know when you feel slightly under the weather and then you're fighting it for a few days. Because I bet this isn't going to end up in proper full blown illness, but it's just under the surface and still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I felt
Just
similarly.
annoying.
The girls have been a little ill, just like cold flu sort of type, feeling all just bunged up and horrid, and Indy coughed in my face about 400 times the other day. And I started to feel it, and then it kind of has just sort of just plateaued. So it's not got any worse, but it's not really got any better.
Yeah, I've had that for about since like Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
Like, and it's just like either do something or go away. I'd rather it just go away, obviously, but it's like
very much. Well, it's episode 453. Hopefully by episode 454, it will have. Oh no, it is 454. By 455, it will have gone. I don't even know what fucking day it is. What? I don't even know what the weekend is. Fucking hell.
Monday.
Yes. Good. I'm gonna drink a beer. You drinking this evening?
Just water.
Yeah, fair. Well, I'm just to end me off for the night. I'm going to drink an imperial stout. It is
nice.
Yes, it is Heaven from Northern Monk. It's in a lovely gold topped can. It is a chocolate and maple imperial stout at 8.4%. On the back, it's very, very hard to read because the text is almost the same colour as not the black text, but in gold just underneath. It's almost the same colour. But
I don't know why brewers haven't realised the demographic of the people consuming their products. Our eyesights are like going. So it's like, why don't they just put like clear text on black text, white background, make it easier for us all? No.
Very much. If this text had all been black, perfect. I'd have been able to read every single word. But it does say, a piece of heaven, indulge in a decadent stout sent from above, craft brewed with northern pride, oozing with maple and chocolate flavour. Just one tiny word in gold, flavour. Fresh from the north, as most Northern Monks beers say. So I'll get it poured, I suppose. I mean, I do like the can. It is, it's quite striking.
Nice. I mean, it kind of looks like a cider that would be called premium cider.
Yeah, it does a bit, yeah.
when it's like, oh look, it's gold, we're different, and it's like tastes like white lightning piss.
Yeah, which is just with a little bit more vinegar in it or something like.
Yeah. Oh wow, look at that.
I mean, it's solid. It's a solid block of colour. Lovely big frothy brown head to it.
Yeah.
Lovely nose. More than maple, I think, than anything. There's a slight burnt element. There's a slight burnt flavour in that nose as well. But
it's a shame we don't have the Canadian here to
do
with smell-o-vision. I think that's the super strength for superpower of all Canadians. They can smell maple even through screens.
I wouldn't have even said anything. He'd have just instantly known. Someone's got maple. Yes.
Can smell it from Durham.
Oh, that's a smooth beer. Fucking hell, that's a big flavour though.
What percentage was it? Sorry,
8.4.
Oh, okay. So on the lower of imperial.
Yeah. So we're calling it. It's being called an imperial stout, but it's only just over 8. Yeah. Whereas you normally think imperial is more like 11, 12,
11,
something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But nice nose, big flavour when you sip it, and it's nice and viscous. It's sort of not quite oily, but it's got that thickness to it. And it's a little carbonated, so it's pushing that flavour a little bit. But when you sip it, you are getting the maple, and you're getting a absolute ton of dark chocolate in the flavour. And the dark chocolate has a much more bitter taste to it. And then the maple is pretty much like maple syrup. It's a little bit burnt. It's a little bit sweet. It's kind of not, though, gelling with the chocolate that much. So both flavors are quite distinct.
Yeah.
And they're kind of almost vying for attention a little bit. Like they don't quite work together. And that may be just the first couple of sips. It may start to flow that little bit better as I drink more. But at the moment, you're kind of almost getting a bit of a harshness from the maple. And then that really biting kind of bitterness from the dark chocolate kind of there as well. I'm hoping it kind of just comes down a little bit. You know, we talk about beers all the time. Going, oh, it'd be nice if this had a slightly bigger flavour. This almost to its detriment is too big.
Too much.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's like 8.4. It's like, are they just trying to go imperial in terms of like, I don't know, that boldness of flavour? But like, are you feeling much of that burn you said that you described? Is that more with the flavour, or is it like a bit of alcohol as well?
I think there's definitely there's an undercurrent of the alcohol in there as well, just kind of pushing that sort of burn element of it.
Yeah.
And it would be more, maybe not quite maple if that alcohol percentage wasn't there, perhaps. You'd be maybe more like, oh, it's just like a golden syrup. It's slightly sort of sweeter sort of syrup, but that kind of burnt flavour to it just kind of gives you, oh, this is much more like maple. It's that deeper kind of flavour to it rather than just a sweet kind of ping to it. So it's definitely being pushed by the alcohol. And actually, it's interesting because the maple kind of sits more towards the front. The alcohol is sat a little bit towards the back, so you can kind of separate them a little bit to see what is sort of pushing what. But it's lovely and smooth. It's a lovely velvety kind of almost on the edge of oily.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how this develops and how it kind of grows as I drink it more. Whether those sort of flavors meld together that
maybe
little
when
bit
it
more.
Warms up a bit. Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to record a couple of nights ago, so it went in the fridge a couple of days ago. I took it out about an hour, maybe hour and a half ago, something like that. So it's been sat out a little while. The fridge is at 5 degrees, so it's probably warmed up a touch to about 8 or 9, something like that.
Which you'd want as you'd want.
Absolutely, it is still a bit cool. It's definitely still a bit cool. So it is retaining. You know, it's a cold fucking day. My house doesn't retain any heat, so it's probably cold in the room anyway. But yes, we will see. We will see. I will sup. I will indulge, and we will talk about this a bit later. But for now, we'll move on to games. But games, I don't know, a games event, Lucy. Let's talk about a games event. One of the largest games events in modern times, sadly. The Game Awards. I don't know if you just want to kick in, because I know that you have thoughts.
None of them are good. So it's just like... Yeah, like... Did you watch it?
No.
Like,
Fuck no. It's at like...
I watched...
midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, like...
Oh, no, I didn't watch it then. I watched, like, just... I had it on
fair.
in the background as I was, like, working and stuff like that. And, yeah, like... It's... I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I want to caveat with anyone who watched that and, like, loved it, perhaps, was like, oh, I'm probably in a place where it's like, I don't think video games are interesting, especially, like, most mainstream games, you know? And that's, those are the people who can afford to get a trailer on in the Game Awards. And it just all looks the same. You know? I don't know a Godfall from a God game or another Fall game, It's just like they're all the same. But I wrote just my thoughts on I won't call it a review, but on like my Substack,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a bit, jokey in tone, but it is very scathing. But it's just, it's a emblematic of the video game industry and where it is now,
Sure.
where everything is homogenized, everything looks the same. We're still going back to the well with sequels, and I mean, how many Evils are we up to now? Probably 700. Um, which those are fine games, but it's like, oh, another Resident Evil game, and people get excited for it, and these games sell. So it's like, yeah, but it's just like everything is mainstream, which is, if you were a video game publisher, that's what you want to sell your video game to. I just don't see. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, well, we're making the same games and they're selling, so it's like, what
Mm.
incentivizes us to make anything else? And it's like, you know, 10, 20 years ago, there'd still be games that, diverge from the norm. But at this point where everything is so risky, there's not a lot of money in publishing and going around unless you make something that's very bankable.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen. So the innovation is, has been for a while in the indie space, and
Absolutely.
the indie games are not going to get to the Game Awards because of, the amount of money involved. I think some money is siphoned off to give to developers who don't have the money, but their
Mm-hmm.
game looks cool and they want to show it off, and like maybe one or two slots for them. But otherwise, not going to see them. I watched the Day of the Devs
Yeah.
stream.
Which was the day before, right?
Uh, Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the Wednesday or something. Yeah, but they're, basically back to back,
Uh-huh.
very close together. And I was like, oh, look at all these games,
Mm.
and that's a non-profit organization that, has the same sponsors as the Game Awards, but it's just got a completely different tone to it and a completely different, you know, uh, vibe. And the the one thing that I saw where it's just like, oh my god, and I just wanted to turn it off right there and then, was a trailer for like Divinity from
Oh yes, yeah.
Larian Studio, and I thought I had been transported back to 2005, because it was a trailer where it was like, how much gross stuff can we fit in the space of 3
Mm.
minutes? Where it's like, there's a man on fire and we're seeing it was like a Mortal Kombat fatality, except it was 3 minutes long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And none of it was like, Mortal Kombat's over the top and hilarious, even when it's got to like almost photorealism now, it's still stupid and goofy and over the top, and you know what you're getting. Whereas that was just like, this is probably not even going to be the tone of the game, and none of this is funny, none of this is interesting, none of this is good, and this is what is just like, ooh, look, gamers. It was Spike Awards kind of level cringe, and I think that set the tone for the rest of the show, where it's like, oh, we're just appealing to 12-year-old edgelords now, and it's like in every single game, and it's just tiring. I'm too tired for this shit, Ben. But, like
No,
just like,
I absolutely agree, and I think it's interesting with Larian that the tone of the trailer being as kind of gory was very similar to some of the Baldur's Gate 3 initial kind of trailers that kind of came out.
mhm.
They're almost following the same sort of marketing playbook as such for this. And obviously, Baldur's Gate 3 sold really well, so kind of like why not
But it
almost?
was just sleeping with a bear
But
in
I
like Baldur's Gate 3, was it not? Just like, which was way more tame than this.
yeah, but I think you're right in a lot of the innovation is in other spaces, but also a lot of the like past innovation. So innovation, sort of back in the 90s and the 2000s, those kind of things, isn't represented
Mhm.
necessarily as much in obviously the modern lexicon anymore at all. It's not in
Mhm.
older games are not still in kind of the zeitgeist of the time. And I did read today that Warhammer Dark Omen, which is a Warhammer RTS game from like the early 90s, has
Right.
been not remastered, but it's been
Mm.
kind of updated and has just kind of released through GOG. And I'm
Okay.
like, fuck
Nice.
yeah, I loved that game
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
kid. Like I didn't know what I was doing because I was a
Mm.
kid, I was maybe
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
when I played it, like 10, 11, something like that,
Mhm.
probably.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that's what I want to play. I'm not really
Yeah.
fussed about Divinity or I haven't actually played any of the Divinity games. So I'm not fussed about that universe or the world or anything. Okay, Baldur's Gate 3 was, I'm interested in that. I know Adil's been playing it.
Mm.
But actually, I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm just going to go back to like super simple, like
Yeah.
incredibly now bug fixed, up-resed, just works on modern systems
Yeah.
game that I was such a comfort back from the
Yeah.
90s. And
Yeah.
it's starting to, and not just that, like a lot of the games I'm playing, a couple of the games that I'll talk about, or one of those games I'll talk about, are indie games. Like the Game Awards
Mm.
doesn't feel like an event anymore for me, like a space that I want to kind
It
of
doesn't
even
feel
even watch, really.
representative of the industry,
Yeah.
to be honest, because like the stuff that like even mainstream media sites and stuff like that, they're not talking about. There will be some like big games that
Hmm.
come into like the conversation for like even maybe game of the year and stuff. But that's like maybe if you had a top 10 list, say, per publication, that's maybe 3 games, and then it's
Yeah.
just the rest is just indie games.
Hmm.
So it's like it doesn't even feel representative of yeah, what people want. And the same for the awards. I mean, it's not an award show. Um, to be honest, it's an it's an advert. But even the awards, it's like, do they still have the best independent game? Like, why don't you just have the best game? I know it's like, okay, we want to shine a light on these smaller games and not just have everything drowned out by AAA games. But like, Claire Obscur is an indie game.
Hmm.
That was in the indie game category and the game of the year category. It's like,
Which it won
why do we
both,
need
right?
to separate? I think maybe Hollow Knight won the indie one because the Knight had to win something. Um, it's true. It's like, okay, this is how stupid it is. It's like, okay, we know Clarovska's winning the game of the year. Let's give a nod to Hollow Knight. But how can the best game of the year then not
Yeah.
by virtue be the best indie game of the
Sure,
year because it's the
absolutely.
same game? Yeah,
If it's in that
yeah,
category, absolutely yes.
yeah. Yeah. It's just it. The Game Awards has been problematic for some time, but it's just like, yeah. I'm just over the whole thing, like, I remember being like, yeah, I'll stay up for it, and I got home late that night anyway, and I was like, should I? I think I watched like the first uh couple minutes, but it was like the pre-show before the show, and it was
Hmm.
like, okay, no, it's just like forget this. Um, yeah, so it's just like, no, I don't care for it, and like, I don't know why people would, and I don't know why people would pay for this. Um, like, I'd just get my trailer. I'd save my $1 million and just put. You can put on your own show. You can
Yeah,
put on,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just say we're gonna have the Divinity, the Larian Studios next game reveal, and yes, it doesn't reach as quite as big an audience, but like you could drum that up. You could put the stupid thing in the desert anyway, and then say countdown to our stream. Um,
Absolutely. And I
yeah.
suppose people must sort of, I don't know how many calculations go into that. We're going to spend 250k on a 30-second
Mhm.
trailer versus what else could
It
we spend
must pay off.
250k
It
off? Like
must do.
how many
Yeah.
eyes are on this right now? But Claire Obscura, absolutely. Running through the winners, I did look at a list of the winners. I
Mm,
knew Claire Obscura won a lot, but going on the Game Awards
you
site and
did,
looking
yeah.
at the winners, they absolutely fucking destroyed. So they right at the
Yeah, they
beginning
cleaned up. Yeah.
they won Game of the Year. They won Best
Mhm.
Game Direction, Best
Mhm.
Narrative, and a lot of
Mhm.
a lot of similar games coming up in these. So Hollow Knight is in a lot of these. Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2 are in a lot of
That is
these
such an uninspiring
categories.
list of
Um,
games.
yeah, it
They're all
does. It feels
sequels.
like it, doesn't it? There are lots of sequels. Absolutely, Clair Obscura
They're
is
all
the kind of
sequels, and a
the
Kojima
outlier.
game that has to be in there because I'm not sure if Joseph Fares put out a game this year. So it's like, uh, yeah,
One of them had to be there, but it also won
yeah.
Best Score and Music. It won best. No, didn't win Best Audio Design. Battlefield 6 won Best Audio Design. It's the first entry for Battlefield 6. But I mean, Battlefield 6's audio is fucking
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, it's
Um,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
but it's just like it's one of those where it's like, okay,
yeah,
some we should vote for something else other than Claire
yeah.
Obscur in some of
Well,
these. So
and Jennifer
yeah.
English won for Best Performance,
Mhm.
and she was one of 3 nominations from Clair Obscura out of 6.
Oh wow. Okay.
So again, dominating the categories. It then won as I go through. It
Have you played this game?
no, no, it's like an
So it
80-hour
seems like a
RPG,
Ben
mate. I'm not.
game.
It, no, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have thought about it, and I have looked at it when it's gone on sale, and I'm like, I just don't
Yeah.
have the time. Like
No, I don't
Death
know how
Stranding
long it
2 was
is,
like
but
my massive game this year. I'm like,
yeah.
I think I've got one big game a year in me, and
Yeah.
I started
I
off
don't
the year
even have
playing God of
that
War
anymore.
Ragnarok, mate.
My one big game was Blueprints, and that was it. And
Well,
that just knocked me out for
so
like 5 months.
Blueprints, along
Yeah.
with Clair
Mm.
Obscura, in Best Independent Game, which Clair Obscura won.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then Clair Obscura also won Best Debut Indie Game, which again Blueprints was in. So Clair Obscura
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
it just fucking smashed it
Yeah. Yeah. It
completely.
seems. I mean, I have no idea what that video game is, but everyone's talked about it so far this year. So
Yeah.
I mean, well done. Like,
RPG,
obviously,
French
well deserved.
RPG. Yeah. Where you
Yeah,
can
that's all I know. That it was like
where
ex Ubisoft or
yeah,
something. Developers, small developer.
characters can
Yeah.
dress
I
up,
mean,
they can wear
great for them.
berets. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, in my review, I was like, that's just like painting a target on your back for ICE to come pick you up. But surprisingly, well, they couldn't have worn that at the airport because they would have just been
Absolutely not.
sent right back. Yeah.
Excuse me, why are you here? Well, we've come to be French. It's like, no, not allowed. Sorry, get out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be like, you want to do that? Go to Canada.
Maybe they flew into Canada and just got the bus down or something like that. It also won Best RPG, which if it's the best game of the year, the game of the year everyone votes for, of course it's going to win kind
Mhm.
of like Best RPG in those kinds of categories that it would
Mhm.
sit in as well. But there's a bunch of good games in here. I don't know if you played Donkey Kong Bonanza at all,
No,
but
I don't
that
know
one
if
Best
that's only on
Family.
the Switch.
Or it
Is
might
that
be on
only
the
on
Switch
Switch
too.
too?
It
I don't
might be
have a
just a
normal
Switch 2
Switch
game.
anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
But yeah,
I don't know what I don't know really know anything about that game other than you can just like smash through everything.
mm,
Um,
and there's some singing or something like that.
yeah, I don't think I've played many of the games that were nominated. Played Hollow Knight and Blueprints,
Uh-huh.
both of which I haven't finished, but not much else I don't think in the other categories.
No, and absolutely. And I think this is again
Yeah.
why it doesn't necessarily speak to us that much because
Mm,
it's kind of looking at the blockbuster games, and we're kind of like, yeah, we play one or two of these
yeah.
a
Yeah.
year, but actually we're over here looking at all of
Yeah.
these
Yeah. Yeah.
kinds of things. And I know there's
Yeah.
a couple of smaller award shows. Is it
Mm,
6-1 Indie, who are a smaller, well, not a smaller site anymore, but an independent sort of media outlet who started probably around the same time as us, maybe 10 odd years ago,
okay.
and have
Yeah.
built themselves up so much that they do their own awards show,
Yeah.
which they I think co-stream on places like IGN and a couple of other places, which are
All
sort of
right. Okay.
boosting them that a
Yeah.
little bit. But that's the kind of place maybe that we sort of inhabit that little bit more
Hmm.
as a place to kind of look at and celebrate excellence in these kinds
Yeah.
of spaces.
Yeah.
But I remember looking at their list, and they had a hell of a lot of awards and a hell of a lot of games. I'm like, this is too much for me.
Too much.
This gets into the weeds even more than I'm
Oh
getting
wow.
into the weeds.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to kind of find that little spot
Yeah,
to
I
go
think
and
there's
watch other
the.
people's kinds of, or at least a media
I
voted
think
on
there's
thing.
IGF and stuff like that. Independent Game Award. Independent Game. IGF. I don't know. Um, and then you have the BAFTAs next year, which
Yes.
is like a bit more prestigious, and then you have the Games Developers Conference, don't
Hmm.
you? GDC that have their awards, which I think is probably a bit more. I mean, those are game developers voting on like their peers, which
Yeah.
is like a bit more trustworthy, let's say, than you know, possibly some of the outlets that are voting on Game of the Year because they know about game design and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, I'd rather get a reward from my peers and not some
Sure. But like
bozo who set up a
almost
website
like
6 months ago or something.
even
Yeah.
then, is it a bit of a popularity contest? You know, you're like, oh, I've played these 5 games and I get to vote on them. And actually, my mate
Mhm.
made these and I really liked it because my mate made it. And
Yeah,
sort of
because with the
some of that must pull
BAFTAs,
in a
I
bit.
believe to vote on a category, you have to have played the video
Yeah.
game, I, I, possibly all the way through.
Mm.
Um, whereas the Game Awards, it's like the outlet comes to an agreement with it, and it's like, yes, if more people played Clair Obscure, that's going to win, just by virtue of more people played it. Yeah, like not everyone from an outlet would have to play Clair Obscure as long as it's like majority rule.
Yep.
And that's what it is. But yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not for us, Ben. It's
No, I agree.
it's
I
really
agree.
not for us. Yeah, it
One thing,
sucks. It's not even that it's just not for us. It just sucks
just
anyway. But
yeah, completely.
also not for us.
The
Yeah.
one thing that did jump out at me
Mhm.
was one of the odder categories at the Game Awards, which was best adaptation. So a video
Mm.
game adaptation into another space. Lots of these are movies and TV shows. And The Last of Us season 2 won, but Splinter Cell Death Watch was one of the nominations.
Is that a Netflix show or
And I
something?
think it's a Netflix show. Yes, it is a Netflix show. And I'm
Okay.
like, I didn't even know that had come out. I knew was being made. I
Mm.
didn't know it had come out. Like Netflix hasn't pushed it at me at all. And I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, like, I need to now find some time to go and watch this. And like, watch Devil May Cry, which was one of the other sort of nominations.
Mm.
All of us have loved the sort of the Castlevania series over
Yeah,
on
that's good.
Netflix as well and stuff. So
Mm.
it's kind of one of those where I'm like, oh, I could definitely like Splinter Cell moving into that TV show kind of format to maybe in
Kind of
a
sad.
couple of years' time to come back as a
You'd hope
game.
so.
You would hope.
You'd hope so, but I don't know.
It's fine. We'll
I
just
don't
get someone
know.
to remake Tomb Raider again.
Yeah,
Just
that's happening.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
the
times you need
dinosaurs
the
are
first
back.
game.
Yeah, Lara Croft's she's got a waterproof makeup on again. Um, yeah, it's a bit jarring to see her like more from like, oh, fully done up Lara Croft which is like, it's a video game, so it's like whatever. It doesn't have to be realistic, obviously,
Mm.
but yeah, it's just a little bit jarring where it's like, oh, okay, we've zoomed in on her ass in this trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, we've gone back decades in the video game
does seem so.
industry.
Does seem so. I think the
Yeah.
interesting change was the
Mm.
or some of the games that they did announce. Like there was the two
Mm.
Tomb Raider games that they announced, so the
Yeah,
remake or whatever they're
one's
calling it,
a
something
remake and one's a new
Legacy
one.
of
Yeah.
Atlantis, which is the remake, and then a new Tomb Raider game, which is at least 18 months or to 2 years away. I think 2027 game. But Lara Croft has a little bit of a different kind of aesthetic in that, like,
Surely,
does
yeah.
looked a little bit more South American, perhaps. But like, cool. Move Tomb
Yeah.
Raider away. Let's move it into a different space and start to tell
Mm.
different stories within that. That's the interesting thing about the franchises that we've had built up for the
Yeah.
last 20 years. Don't
Where
need
was
to revisit
where
the
was
first game again.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider set? Was
Oh,
that
I don't remember.
like Peru or something? I can't even remember. Where was that one set? That might have been in South America. I
I
can't
don't
remember where the first.
remember. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It is, yes, it's all Central America, the jungles of Central America,
Oh, okay.
the Mayan apocalypse. So yeah, it leans into Mayan and
Yes.
Aztec mythologies.
Yes. Yeah, Shadow was probably the worst of the three, but even
Hmm.
still, like those games are like incredible. So even the worst of them is still like a pretty decent 7, 8 out of 10
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
really liked that first game of that
yeah, it's
series.
excellent.
Like
Mhm.
it kind of was, that was the sort of the leap that Tomb Raider needed into something new.
Mm.
And not
Mm.
necessarily innovation, but at least innovative within a franchise, and a change and a bit of a shake up to kind of what everyone sort of knew. Because how many Tomb Raider games came before that, which was the same formula
Yeah.
throughout, like
Yeah.
8, 9, something like that, that it had managed to get itself up to. So it kind of was a franchise that needed something different. And we had a couple
Mhm.
of those other like co-op isometric games, something Osiris,
Guardian
Temple of
of
Osiris,
Light.
Guardians of Light, yep.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. It took it in a little bit of a different direction, and that's cool. But then to have that bigger experience that just
Yeah.
moved things forward was fantastic. So I would imagine that the newer Tomb Raider game, hopefully, will do something similar. But
Yeah, I think
it's
it
not
is
Square
going for
Enix
that like
anymore.
kind of
It's who, I can't remember who owns the Tomb Raider franchise these days.
Crystal
Crystal Dynamics are making it,
Dynamics.
but I think Crystal Dynamics are owned by someone completely different now, right? It all got sold from Square Enix to like Embracer or someone like that.
Oh,
So
I don't know where they are, to be honest. Yeah, God knows. Um, no idea. Um, I mean, this game is not going to see the light of day. If no, not Tomb Raider. But so I don't want you to get giddy, Ben. But
mm,
I saw a press release, not a press release, sorry, because that would have come from the devs themselves,
a
like
reputable
like a
source.
news story. Yeah. Yeah, from like one of those Eurogamers or something like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So they're not just talking out their arse, probably. But Eidos Montreal
Mm.
are making a aliens, well, alien game
Ooh.
that is in the vein of like a Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Those more open world ones like Rise and
Mm.
um, Shadow, and apparently Sigourney Weaver is going to be voicing the character. So it
Ah.
just sounds like the most like, oh yes, what would Ben and Lucy and Adele want? Write it on a post-it note. What are three things we want? Franchise, type of game, and starring actor slash actress. And it would just be, yes, xenomorphs in in a Tomb Raider-esque game,
Absolutely.
starring Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. So it's never going to see the light of day because it would make us all happy.
Completely. And it'd be
Yeah,
exactly the same if they turned around and said, "We're making another Deus Ex," and I'd be like,
that's not happening.
"Yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely fucking
that's
not,
not happening. Yeah.
absolutely not." That third game in the trilogy that they were making, just
Mm,
gone, doesn't exist
yeah,
anymore. They'll make another.
yeah,
Well, they won't make another Guardians of the Galaxy game, but they'll do this. They'll make this Aliens game, and
yeah.
they'll move on to something completely different. And
Because Alien doesn't. I mean, it's a franchise that still sells somewhat, I think. So,
yes,
well,
but
that
that's cool.
Terminator 2 game didn't came out recently, I think.
Yeah, that again,
Um,
a smaller title, isn't it?
yeah, it's like a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up or something like that. It's basically, I think, Contra. Maybe there's shooting too.
Nice. Yeah, Terminator 2D, no fate.
Yeah, I might look into that. I might just.
It's probably it's currently 10% off on
Oh,
Steam.
I might look into that.
Let's have a quick.
I've got enough games that I haven't played, but
That's exactly what I was thinking, mate.
yeah.
So the one of the games I won't talk about it much now, but I've been playing Skate Story, which came
Oh yeah,
out
I played the
earlier this
demo
week,
for that.
and it
Yeah.
released on PlayStation Plus, like day and date. So it's one of the release,
Oh,
like
nice.
a PlayStation Plus, whatever the medium tier is, kind of day and date game. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it enough to continue sort of playing it. But it's kind of one of those where I think, oh my god, I'm in the middle of playing this, I'm in the middle of playing that, and I've got this on the back burner, and I've stopped playing that, but I really want to get back to it. And then there's games that I finished or didn't finish like towards the beginning of the year that I'd really love to kind of just play new thing. I just play new thing, just start new thing, see what new thing is like, and just enjoy new thing.
It's a problem we all have. Yeah, I know this acutely. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I need to find a game that I actually want to play.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of cool games, but it's like, I just can't get into them at the moment. I think I just want to lie in bed and hibernate.
That's fair. And I mean,
Yeah,
this Terminator game seems like the exact kind of
yeah.
comfort food
Where
that
it's like I
would
don't
suit that.
have to think. It's Contra, and I know Contra. Yeah, there will be no text. Other than maybe I don't know Sarah Connor doing a monologue or something. At the end of the game, maybe, and then that's it. Yeah.
Just Robert Patrick staring at you continuously throughout the entire game, just in the corner of the screen, doesn't move. Yeah, nice, good. Cool. Well, the Game Awards is, I think, the biggest takeaway from it. I mean, there's a bunch of decent looking games, but again, it's kind of where we've sort of disliked game shows and the E3 of old giving us like this game is coming in 2.5 years time. Well, why have you told us about? What's the point? Okay, sure, fine. It was a lot of
like that Old Republic game. I saw something that it may not come out till like 2038 or something like that.
That's studio
No,
filmed
2030.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
studio
5
filmed
years
like
away.
this year,
Come on.
right? That's really, they can't have been making this for very long at all yet. They've essentially made a CG trailer and gone, yep, let's make a game around this, maybe.
Because I think we've gone back to like these are CG trailers, either CG or like part gameplay, part CG. But it's like, yeah, we're going back that way. It's like I thought we came to a consensus, the whole video game industry, where it's like we don't really want to see CG trailers anymore. Just tell us what the flipping game is. Yeah,
completely. We've got this lovely understanding that you're going to tell us about your game, and it's going to be out in 6 months' time. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good little cycle. People's attention spans are shit. There's no good telling me about a game and then it comes out in 2 years' time, so I have no idea it's coming out.
Yeah, and it's just like there's so many games, there's so many trailers, there's so many events. It's like it's just like that's really short cycle where it's like here's a game. We're gonna have previews in 6 months.
Yep.
The game's gonna come out in 9 months to 12 months, and it's just
like
it's like keep but yeah. Plus, they're all going to be cancelled by then anyway. So it's like it's immaterial. We're not getting that Star Wars game.
Oh man,
we're not. We're not. Sorry, but we're not getting.
That's fine. I'll take the racing one. That's all right. I'll take Star Wars Wipeout. I'm happy with Star Wars Wipeout. That's fine for me.
Yeah, well, that's what you get, and that then. Yeah. Fine. It was surprising to see both of those games, but it's like I think the pod racing one will come out, but the other one, that's not coming out.
Well, it'll be what I find interesting with that Star Wars thing is, I don't know if you remember, they released Star Wars Squadrons, which was basically
Oh yeah.
just the space
Hmm.
fighting, just the dogfighting
A dogfighting
part
one, yeah.
of Battlefront 2, but like
Mhm.
expanded a little bit, and they had a little bit of a campaign to it,
Yeah.
and it's ultimately just a multiplayer game of dogfighting in space.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking cool, but it came out at a lower price point, right? That was like a 30 or 40 quid game, or when everything else
Mhm.
was kind of 50 or 60 sort of pounds. I'm like, yes, that's perfect, perfectly priced.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
Makes
a bunch of
sense.
people that would kind of play it. It didn't last very long, kind of
No.
in terms of its player base and stuff. But I think if you aimed your kind of your Star Wars racing game, and it comes out 6 months before then the Old Republic game that's going to be kind of
Mm.
coming out, tease you in almost and release it at that lower kind of £40 price point for then your whatever your £60-70 kind of new Star Wars big budget kind of game it comes out, sort
Mm.
of thing. And it's almost marketing for the next game ultimately. And something like Star Wars, which
Mhm.
has so many stories that people are kind
Yeah.
of hungry for, can sort of do that, just perpetuate itself continuoally through new releases. And go, it's not a game a year
This
necessarily, but it's different
sounds like hell.
experiences.
'Cause like someone who was over Star Wars 30 years ago, I don't want to hear anything about Star
But mate, I
Wars.
mean,
But it's just like
this is the thing. You don't have to. You can go,
I do.
cool. I will
I
put that
have to
one to the
hear it.
side.
I have
Well, you
to.
do, and I've got to
You
talk about it.
can't get away from it. Exactly. Yeah. No, you can't get away from it. The thing is that it's just like if there was a good Star Wars game, I'd be here for it. But it
Hmm.
doesn't. It seems like they're all middling to middling.
They're all right. They're all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. They're all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. There's not been a good Star Wars game
Hmm.
maybe ever, apart from maybe Knights of the Old Republic that everyone loves.
Yeah. I mean, what's my favorite Star Wars game? I'd have to come back to everybody on that. I don't know. I don't
Lego
know.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Can
Lego Star Wars is good.
you imagine?
It's a good game.
Yeah,
Um.
that Lego Batman looks all right because I think they're just making. I think that they are stealth releasing a new Arkham game or an Arkham remake,
Ooh.
except it's just Lego figures.
Lego.
So it's
Yep.
like this is how we do it. This is how because you know Warner Brothers getting sold off. I mean that
Mm,
studio is probably not long for this world anyway.
mm, mm.
All those studios. So that's how they're doing it. They're
Well,
just
I did,
baking it into a Lego
I did
game.
read, unfortunately, that
Mhm.
Netflix had commented that the Warner Brothers game division had absolutely zero impact
Yeah.
on
Well,
the
there you go.
sale whatsoever. Like, cool.
That's
So,
telling.
of all of these going to just Netflix is like, well, we've spent a lot of money buying Warner Brothers. We need to make some money back. Let's
Mhm.
just sell every game property,
Sell it. They're
every
just gonna shutter
franchise
those.
that we have. Yeah, but
Netflix.
they'd be like, cool, Mortal Kombat. Let's sell the game rights to someone
Gotcha.
else.
Yeah. I
Hazza
thought you meant the
Chazza.
studios. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
not the
Yeah. I can
studios,
imagine
but
them selling the IP.
yeah,
Yeah, and or leasing that out. Yeah.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah. That as I say, they best be brushing off their resumes. Those developers. No
Yeah,
point trying to unionize at this point. Id
yeah,
Software
yeah.
unionized, which is good.
Nice,
Especially being under Microsoft. So that's good.
clever.
That's pleasant news. Yeah,
Yeah, whether it will
because
do
can you
anything.
imagine? Surely you'd think there's certain developers that would be somewhat safe
Well, Blizzard have
from the
been
eye of
like
Sauron.
slowly unionizing, haven't they? Lots of different
Yeah.
departments within Blizzard have been slowly kind of unionizing, ready for the
But
giant cleaver to come
yeah.
down at some
But
point.
the fact that we're talking about this just
Mm,
shows you the state of the industry, where it's
absolutely.
like nobody's safe. Some like Blizzard, id Software, they've been around for 30 years and we don't know,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's effing depressing.
absolutely. And then you've got to
What
give Jeff fucking Keighley £250,000 just to show a fucking 30-second trailer
Yeah,
at an award show. That's like what,
yeah,
200? I don't know, in the States, two people's jobs for a year.
yeah, yeah,
That's fucking insane.
yeah. Mm.
Let's move on before we
Yeah, because it's depressing. Yeah.
fucking, yes, lean too much into it. Games,
Mhm.
games, 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 games. Is there anything you want to chat about this week, Lucy?
I haven't played anything, so
Yeah, fair.
no, I haven't played anything. like at all.
Yeah. No. Nice. Fair.
Maybe not even Power Off Simulator. I don't even think I've played that. Hmm.
Like there's little bits of comfort that you've been sort of finding and going back to, just not this week.
Yeah, just yeah. But no, I don't think I've had no this week. No, I haven't played anything.
Okay.
No.
Cool. Well, I'll jump in then with a smaller game, which I've been playing for about a week, maybe, since we last spoke. I don't think I'd started it when we last spoke, but I've been playing Death Howl, which
Oh
is a
yeah,
little independent game, playing on Steam.
this is a Souls-like card game, is it?
That is kind of how it's billed, and I think Souls-like is a bit of a pull, but I think it's almost a bit of a detriment as a
Okay.
tag on it, because it's not right. It's kind of
Are they using not Death Souls, Dark Souls in the it's hard kind of
so
descriptor, or is it
yes.
once you die, you? uh,
So
what is a Souls like other than
a couple.
people usually use it? It's like it's hard and
Well, so I think a Souls-like is that
somewhat
it's
gothic.
well, yes, but it's hard and it has an increased kind of difficulty level, but that the penalties are you die and the enemy that kills you keeps the currency that you've built up, right? Whatever that is, and
Right.
you
Okay.
then revive back at some kind of camp, bonfire, stone, whatever that kind of thing is. And Death Howl
Yeah,
has a
that makes
little bit of
sense.
that, right? So Death Howl
Okay.
has markers. It has stones which you can activate, and they are kind of like save points. But it's an isometric game set in a bit of a kind of desolate world, which isn't quite in. Well, it's sort of the land of the dead, and there's tons
Right.
and tons of sort of spirits kind of going around. And the character that you play is looking for her son. He's died, and she doesn't want his spirit to go, so she is sort of searching for it. And Death is talking to you, basically saying, "No, he's on his way. Don't worry about it." And she's
Yeah.
like, "No, I don't accept that." And the idea is that you are going through this world, and you have to go and defeat a bunch of spirits, right? The
Oh, I love
kind
the
of
trailer noise.
the interesting
Apologies.
thing about this is that it is a card-based game. So you are continuously building, developing, altering a deck. And the combat or the battles are on a small isometric grid. And your cards will be for abilities, some of which are attacks, some of which are defense, some of which are movement based. You can come out of the cards. You don't have to use the cards, and you can just move around the board
Right. Yeah.
if you want. So movement is
Oh,
not a
okay.
card related ability, although some of the cards have movement abilities. But you basically get 5 goes. You have 5 actions, and moving 1 square takes up an action. So if you moved 5
Yeah.
squares, you've used all your actions. Using a card has a level of currency to it. So some cards take 1, some are 0, some take 2, some take 3. Some alter dependent on what you've done before them. So you've got some cards where if you have extra armor on you, and you get cards to cast extra armor on you. You have totems as well, which are items which you can equip, which might give you extra armor at the start of a battle. That card is then at a reduced cost. So there's nice levels of synergy between a bunch of these cards, and you can actually spec out a deck quite quickly and quite nicely, sort of within the first area. What I like is when you go to a new area, you have a base set of cards, and those base cards are pretty simple in terms of sort of what they do. Not big impact cards, but you can chain actions together quite nicely. But when you move into a new area, you can make a new deck of cards based upon that area, right?
Right.
Cards from another area cost more actions to perform. So where I built up my base set and then set from area number 1 and had kind of a 50-50 split between cards in that first area, moved into the second area. I'm like, oh, this costs me a lot more to have to do.
Yeah.
Either I've got to just revert back to my base set and start building again, or I need to maybe slightly change how I'm approaching things to have there's that level of difficulty comes in not having as many action points, or your action points not being quite as efficient as they were in a different area. And doing that until you've started to then build up your deck of cards from that area, to start rebuilding your deck and changing it.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of making sure you don't just have a stagnant deck that
Absolutely.
you just like, I just want these cards and go through the whole game.
Yep.
That's an interesting way to do
Very
it.
much. And the cards kind of concentrate a little bit. They're kind of themed to the area that you're in as well. And you might find, sure, some of these cards might work quite well within, from the other area. They might work quite well here and be quite impactful. But because they're impactful, they are at a higher cost then. And actually, I'm going to learn or relearn what my synergies are with the new cards that I'm creating as I'm sort of moving through these areas. And the sort of the Dark Souls comparison comes in a little bit where you have those stones that you kind of visit, and they regenerate every enemy on the map. So you rest and you bank the points that you have won from defeating enemies to upgrade yourself and those kinds of things. But everything regenerates, and the other thing is, if you die, the enemy that killed you, or at least the encounter that you died in, the souls that you have collected are captured within that encounter. But when you die, you don't start back at the stones. You start back at the start of the encounter. Not in the encounter, but just on the periphery of it. So you could jump back into it and go, cool, I'm going to collect the 2. I've only fought 2 enemies. I've got 2 souls. I'm going to go back in and get them. It was really hard, but I'm going to keep going on this encounter. Or you can explore that a little bit more. And sort of go around and try and find everything. And it has that little bit of sense of freedom to it, whilst kind of in its own way kind of going, cool, you've explored as much as you can. You now, to get to from point A to point B, you have to choose a path across the land. Route number 1 has 3 encounters. Route number 2 has 2 encounters. Which one are you going to kind of, where are you going to move across the map? And route 1 and route 2 aren't exclusive routes. You could start down route 1, do 2 encounters of 3, and go, actually, I'm going to go around the other way and just do as many encounters as I possibly can. But it gives you options, which I like. And I really dig the art style. It feels like a deconstruct team game in terms of its sort of aesthetic and the art style.
It looks great.
No, I can never remember the
these
name
kind
of
of
it.
like inverse colors with like negatives.
There's a lot
really
of that.
striking art style. Looks great.
It very much reminded me of a smaller deconstruct team game. Where it's isometric, but you're walking around almost as this like death collector. And it was only like a smaller experience that they put out, almost like a demo.
I can't remember which that one
they
is.
put out, but it feels very, very similar to that. And I love a little kind of isometric sort of battler, because it gives you that little bit of strategy, and the cards again give you that next level of strategy on top of that. A game like Transistor, where you had your move sets and you could change between active battling and then like sort of timed elements and trying to map out what you wanted to do strategically. You have a similar kind of thing with this. We go, cool, I've got 5 points. I've got these cards in front of me. What do I want to do? Because once I finish my turn, the enemy's going to have a turn. Then I get a completely different set of cards, all from my deck still, but a different set of cards to kind of work with in the next one of my, in my next turn. So you're not necessarily anticipating what might come up kind of later. You're taking each turn as its own little encounter to kind of be as impactful as possible before you know what will be coming up. So it's very, very I was going to say slick, but slick's not the right kind of word.
Mm.
But it's very I mean, slick is probably the right word, perhaps. It just it works incredibly well. Like,
Yeah.
and in terms of the gameplay and how everything kind of folds together to give you this really well thought out experience.
Yeah. I mean, it's on Game Pass. Um,
Oh, nice. Okay.
so I could check it out. Yeah. I mean, the art style alone looks
Mm,
something that would draw me in. Um, yeah, I might give it a whirl.
mm.
Do a few runs.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I was thinking, oh, is it like um Slay the Spire? But it seemed like the world just seems so much more like imaginative and more detailed, and it's like, yeah, because like Slay the Spire was just like just seeing the same goop monster over and over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's again with the
Mm.
different areas and the different sort of themes of the areas. They're different enemies within those.
Yeah.
Some repeat slightly,
Mm.
but there might be a different variant or something slightly different. So you know it's going to have
Mm.
a slightly different kind of attack set. It's not going to be exactly the same kind of every time. And
Yeah.
I'm about 4 hours in, I think, and I probably cleared the first area, having beaten all encounters
Mm.
within maybe two and a half, something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but once you clear that first area, the next four areas open up for you. You can kind of it was that first area is kind of central on the
Yeah.
world map, and then you can
Yeah.
kind of go to any of those other areas that you want to, with the
Yeah.
caveat that if you want to go into the area that's in the you have to exit the map
Completely
through the
different
top.
one. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to beat the enemies still to get
Yeah.
to it. So
Oh,
you could have beaten
okay.
all of the
Yeah.
enemies on the map, gone and done the
Yeah.
quest thing, saved it at the stones. All enemies regenerate. Cool. I now have to make my
Yeah.
way through the world still to
Interesting.
go into the
Yeah.
next area. It's not just cool. It's not like a run based game where you
Yeah.
just then move
Yeah.
through to the next
Everybody
section.
else is dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
I'm really digging it. It just looks
Yeah.
so good as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I might install it now. I
nice.
wonder if I can just play it on Steam Deck. Might try that.
That's
Stream
what I'm
it.
playing it on. I'm playing it on
Yeah.
Steam Deck. Yeah, I suppose
Nice.
if you're playing it
Okay.
through Game Pass and you've got all that set up,
Yeah.
then it should. Yeah, it
Yeah.
runs really nicely on Steam Deck. It's
Okay.
graphically,
I'll try that
it
then.
feels like a smaller screen might start to lose some of that detail or be a little bit like
Hmm.
too much, but it
Yeah.
doesn't. It's perfect for Steam Deck.
Cool. Yeah. Because I was thinking, like last year that Tactical Breach Wizards
Oh
came
yes,
out,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like I don't think I've found another like strategy game um that good since.
Mm,
Like turn-based game.
yeah.
Which that was such a good game. Such a good game.
Mm.
Because it was like, well, it was kind of like the opposite of this, because this is like leaning into the Dark Souls, like you have to do things over and over again. If you get it wrong, then you're screwed. Whereas Tactical Breach Wizards was like, yeah, just rewind. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't matter. Try it again. It's cool.
Gives you
Whatever.
that extra
Yeah.
kind of level of
Yeah.
control, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
nice.
it was all just like about experimentation, just
Hmm.
like more so than tempted to be difficult or punishing.
Mm, mm.
Which I prefer because yeah, it's like I make many mistakes in those kinds of games. Yeah. Like Into the Breach was a good like middle ground where it's
Mm.
like, oh, you have like one rewind or something, but you can just like preview what would happen, and then if that doesn't um suit you, then yeah, you can do a rewind, but they were limited. Uh Need to make it Into the Breach too. They should do that.
That would be good. Yeah,
I don't think
absolutely.
they will, but yeah,
Well, I think
that'd be
Into the
good.
Breach is kind of one of those games you can play almost anywhere now, right? It's on
Yeah,
phones now. It's kind of one of those games that they've just ported to
yeah.
absolutely everything.
I think I played a lot of it on my iPad.
Right.
What was it on iPad? I think it was on Netflix, and I just logged
Mm-hmm.
into my friend's Netflix,
Was on Netflix,
and it's
yes.
like, yeah, and they've got like hundreds of hours on Into the Breach, which I would have no idea what it is. You know, if that ever came up on like, oh, your most watched slash played thing, they'd be like, what's Into the Breach? Because yeah, I have no idea about games, and I was
What's
like, well,
Lucy
can I
been
borrow it?
doing?
Yeah, just literally playing Into the Breach and nothing else.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
and watching
Good.
Castlevania.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. At the same time, they're like,
Like,
I've only
what's
got,
that?
I can only do two things
Yeah,
on Netflix at
yeah,
once, and someone else is doing both of them. What's
yeah,
going on?
yeah. Fully.
Good, good. So I like moved from Death Howl, one reasonably hard game, and the combat is quite hard. You know, some of the encounters I've bashed my head against and kind of gone. Actually, I can see how I'm going to get through this. This is something that I could strategize for and understand where I made my mistakes on my last go.
Mhm.
But I've been playing a reasonable amount of Stalker 2 still, and
Oh
that is not a
yes,
game
yes.
that rewards your mistakes with knowledge. That is just a game where you make mistakes and you're fucked
You're dead.
ultimately.
Yeah.
Um, what I'm actually quite liking about Stalker 2 is that uh, it it's a little bit of a buggy mess, and I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like that about
Yeah.
it. It's got that kind of
It's
like
good jank.
it
Yeah.
is good jank. It is good jank, and it reminds me of the original game, which again was good jank. And you
Yeah.
kind of just took that as part. You know, back then you're like, well, just is this part of the game? Should this be happening? Who
Yeah.
knows? I'm young enough to not really kind of grasp whether this is something that should
Mhm.
have happened or whether it's just bleh. Whereas now I'm very much like that character shouldn't be there. This isn't something that should be happening, but
Uh,
it's fine. I'll just watch it happen.
yeah, yeah,
Some mutants were attacking some uh, um, just random people out
yeah.
in the wilds, and I'm like, cool. I'm just gonna watch from afar. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna sort of shoot at any of them. And there's like boars, mutant boars, and they kind of charge at you and then jump and knock you over. And the
Yeah.
game kind of it had two characters, but they were almost stood in exactly the same place. So the animations
Just on top of
mirrored
each other.
every like the ball would
Right.
come in and hit both of them, and they would both hit the ground, and they would both stand up, and then they would both shoot at the same thing because it was the closest kind of target. And then the ball would run around and it would hit them both again, and it was kind
Yeah.
of just like this weird like echoed sort of
Yeah.
moment where you had these two sort of characters almost stood on exactly the same spot, both being affected and both doing exactly the same sort of thing. I'm like, that's good. I like this.
Yeah,
This is
that's good jank. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Is it jank
There's
or is it because I'm in a fucking nuclear radiation zone and this is actually what's affecting my brain? No, it's probably
uh,
just jank. It's
it's
fine.
jank. Yeah. Because there's good jank and there's bad game breaking bug can't progress jank. But there's
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I've downloaded Dead Rising 4, which I always do like every year in the hopes that I'll actually play it because it's like set at Christmas time.
Yeah.
And like Dead Rising games were good jank, well made games. But it's like, oh, there's a zombie like on top of a traffic cone, suspended in the air, kind of jank. And it's like, yeah, it's good jank.
I don't
You
think I
need
played 4.
games are so polished now. Was it? Because we're 3 and 4. Well, I guess they were all only on Xbox for a while,
They
weren't
were
they?
all only on
Were they
Xbox
on?
for a while.
Were they? Did they ever come to PC? Um,
I don't know.
no,
Um,
because I don't think back then. I don't think Capcom were
is it
like,
Frank again in Dead Rising 4? Yes, it must be.
no.
Oh, is it not?
Yes. Yes. No.
Right. So Dead Rising 4, right?
Right. Yeah.
Was it one of those is it an Xbox One like almost release title? Because I seem to remember with 4 that They were
Right.
like, we've got the most
No,
zombies.
Free was a launch one.
Right, okay.
And I
Okay.
really enjoyed Free, like more than I have like the rest of the series.
Yep.
Because it was like a launch title and there was like these other decent games to play. Like there was Rise, that was decent, but like
Yeah.
yeah, I think I like 100%ed like Dead Rising 3 because it was just stupid fun in like an open world and there was just tons of zombies and it's like yeah, so I really have a special place in my heart for Free.
Mm.
But yeah, I think 4. I think because it's like I've got is it the Series X or whatever? I imagine they run better now, on this hardware. So it's like, yeah, I'll check that. Maybe I finally check out Dead Rising 4. But yeah, back then, I mean, I think Capcom now are like, yes, PC is going to be our main market and
Oh, very
platform.
much.
But back then, they just weren't asked about it. So I don't know if it ever came to PC.
It did.
Maybe
Yeah,
it
you
did.
can
Oh,
just
okay.
looking on Steam, you can
Oh,
buy Dead Rising 4 for £5 currently.
oh wow.
It's on sale for £5. Came out
That
on
is
Steam in
probably worth it.
2017.
Yeah. I don't think it reviewed too well, but like to go around and just kill some zombies, why not, man?
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah. I'm gonna try and give that a spin
Yeah,
at some
nice.
point. But I say that every year and I never
But
do it.
but
But this is the year.
yeah,
This is the year.
this is when you'll get it. So I think all of them are on Steam actually.
Nice.
Although when I
Because I think
click in,
they remade, well, remastered one. I think.
so you can you can buy
Yeah.
Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, which is nearly £25. 50% off at the moment, so it's a
Yeah,
£45
I think
game on
that's a
Steam.
recent one, like
Yeah,
came out like last year or something,
but
which was like I think the second remaster they've done of number 1.
but Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition, Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 4 are all about £5 on Steam at the moment,
Nice.
all on
Yeah.
sale.
Good games. Good stupid fun games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, when you just had fun games like State of the Decay or Crackdown
Mhm.
or Dead Rising, where it's just like, yeah, just go into this open world and just do stupid stuff and enjoy. You know, there's no plot.
Double-ended chainsaws and shit like that.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fun games. Fun games.
nice, good, cool. Let's finish there for this evening, shall we? Next episode potentially will be our end of year show.
Yeah, we need to figure out when we're gonna do that.
Absolutely. And what we're going to do, is it going to be a category special? Is it going to be a top 10 sort of list?
I'm sure for me and Adil it'll be all the games we wanted to play but didn't. I think that's
most
the category
anticipated
will
game
be.
from this year.
Yeah.
Just 5 games in that category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you lead on what you want to talk about, Ben, and me and Adil will follow. And we will fill in the gaps.
Well,
I think that is
even for me, I've played less games this year.
Yeah.
I think a couple of years ago I played like 52 games. I played like a game every, or maybe not a game every week, but a game for every week. And that was maybe like 2022, something like that. And because I chart the games that I've been playing, I noticed that I am playing less and less games. I think I've only played about 30 this year.
Yeah.
Most of which, I think about half, are not games from this year. They're all like God of War, Ragnarok, and stuff like that, which I've kind of gone back to and gone, oh, this is around. I'll play this now. There's nothing else that takes my fancy that's released in the last kind of like few weeks. I'll play this instead. So the list of games that I've probably spoken about for the last year on the episodes that have come out this year, there's a good chance that most of them will be featuring within a top 10 if we're focusing on games from this year. Whereas if we open it up a little bit,
we don't have to open it up.
Yeah,
like I think we always have. Like if you play it even 10 years late, but it's your favorite game of the year, that's fine. We have no rules here. We do what we want.
Well, I'm going to go and buy Warhammer Dark Omen on GOG.
Nice.
Now it's only about £7.50, so that might probably be my game of the year for this year, just because of pure nostalgia.
Well, I'm going to buy. No, I've already bought was it Dino Crisis 1 and 2 on GOG.
Nice.
So maybe I'll play Dino Crisis 2, which I don't think I've played since I did originally. So maybe that'll be my game of the year, and then we'll just tell it a deal to, like, I don't know, buy a Magic game that came out on GOG 50 years ago.
He's got them all. It's fine. He can just go into his extensive library of games, and he'll have it somewhere.
To be honest, he's not going to hear this, and then in a week's time, he's going to come back and say, "Yeah, I've been playing Magic, which is my favorite game of the year," and it's going to be unlike GOG. Yeah, it's going to be like the GOG program. Yeah, and we're like, well, there we go.
Brilliant. Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know what your game of the year is, so I look forward to hearing it. And Adil's going to pull something out of left field as well. So it's going to be Magic the Musical Theatre or something like that. So
Magic the Gathering, the musical of Magic the Gathering, or something absurd. So, what? Just to finish on, Evelyn has been watching a TV show, which I believe is called High School Musical, the musical, the TV show.
Hold on.
And it's a TV show of the musical of High School Musical, not a TV
that makes
show
sense in
of
my head
High School
somehow.
Musical. And I'm just like, you've lost me. You've lost me completely. Say the first three words, and I get it.
Yeah.
Done.
Because that was a TV show, the High School Musical. And then they made a musical of it.
It's films.
Was
and
it?
Then they made a musical of the film, and then they've made a
I'm
TV
thinking
show
of like
based
Glee.
on the musical of the film.
That makes sense.
Oh mate, it's so convoluted.
I think that because didn't they do like a Mean Girls? Because Mean Girls as a film is absolutely wicked, but then they did a musical of that.
Right.
And then I think I did a film based on the musical, or maybe it was just a rehashing of the first film. Well, I don't know, but it makes sense in my head.
Sure.
High School the Musical, High School Musical TV.
But the same as like Matilda, which came out a few years ago, which is which is a not a reboot, but it is the film version of the musical version of the novel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm watching this through, several years ago now. I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, where's Danny DeVito? And everyone's like, who? I'm like, mate, nah.
What?
Nah.
Has she never watched the original?
No. I don't think she's watched.
Well, the film, right?
Yes, the film. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and that's
So
a great film. She'd
I-
love that, surely.
Well,
I don't know any kid who wouldn't love that.
I think so, because I think the new one
Yeah.
isn't darker necessarily, because it's quite jovial. It's not light-hearted, but it's jovial in some of the songs, and it gets a little bit dark in places. And I think actually the sort of what's that from the 90s, the Matilda film that kind of 90s, we know, wasn't necessarally dark, but it was kind of on that
there was
Home Alone
things,
sort of level, wasn't it?
Yeah. So good. I was just watching a bit of it. Probably only about a month or two ago, at like my friend's house, and put it on for the kids. It's so good. It's such a good movie.
Nice. Well,
it's a bit weird how like Miss Honey was her teacher and then ended up adopting her. That's a bit like
position of power.
Where's the safeguarding?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's when you watch it now, it's like, did Miss Honey really have the right intentions? But anyway, that's just me watching through adult eyes. But
yes. So
abuse of power.
I haven't watched Home Alone for a decent amount of years, and Kim and I were talking the other night, and we're gonna introduce Evelyn to Home Alone. I think this Christmas.
Nice. I think I probably watched it last year. So it's one of those where it's like, if it's on TV, it's like, okay, I'm not going to turn over, am I?
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
It's Home Alone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. To round out and finish off, this beer, it did soften. It absolutely softened. I've got the tiniest bit left. I think whilst we were chatting that first bit about the Game Awards, I didn't drink it very much. I didn't sort of feel the want or the need to kind of reach for it. But it's kind of smoothed out, I think. There's still that bitterness. There's still the burnt sort of maple. There's still that little bit of bitter chocolate in there. but everything has just dialed itself back. Whether it's my
Yeah.
palate just going, yeah, this is okay. You've had this. It's cool. We'll kind of treat it as such, or whether the beer is sort of warmed up a little bit as well. It's nowhere near as cold as it was when I first started drinking it, and it is just that little bit softer. It's not quite as harsh as it was when I was first drinking it. The flavors are still quite distinct. They haven't sort of meshed or melded together at all. You've still got that kind of burnt sort of maple, and then that kind of distinct dark bitter chocolate over here as well. And those kind of things are just sat next to each other. They're not kind of folding together. They're not one before the other. They're just sat right next to each other. And you're like, oh, both of these things are here in kind of equal measure, almost. And that's fine. I think I would just like them to either just like flow,
harmonize a bit,
each
a
other.
bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not a bad beer. It's a decent beer for 8.4%. And would I drink it again? Maybe. I don't know where it was. It was actually a gift this from someone for my birthday last month. So it's been sat very nicely waiting for this kind of winter period, because I'm very much into my stouts at the moment. I think that's all I've drank. You know, last week, for the couple of weeks I was on sort of the slightly darker and more bitter sort of West Coast IPAs, and I've just fully moved into porters and stouts now.
Don't blame you.
Yeah. What a difference a week
I've
makes.
got barley wine that I might save for
nice.
Game of the Year.
Nice. I do need to. I was thinking a couple of days ago about putting in another beer order with somebody. Like, who's making barley wines at the moment? Like, almost nobody. Like, looking online, just literally search barley wine and trying to find some people. And Atom had one. And I'm like, yes, brilliant. I'll get a barley wine from Atom, and I'll buy some amazing stouts from them too. And they had almost no stouts in their online shop. And I'm like, oh no, you've ruined everything.
I think mine is from Wilderness Brewery. They've got an amber ale, they've got amber lager, they've got a cellared porter, they've got a triple, they've got a barley wine at the moment. What else?
Nice.
I'll just read in all the dark styles. So they've got quite a few. I think the one down there is from Wilderness, I think. But definitely need to go procure some in the next week.
Nah, nice. And I will do the same.
I just need to sack off work and just life and just do what I should be doing, which is just getting drunk and lying in bed.
I mean, absolutely. What do you need? A beer and a Steam Deck in your set?
Yeah, I was thinking, you know what? I just want to play games for 5 months and not have to do anything else.
That makes sense. Absolutely.
I'm a simple woman. I don't ask for much.
No, completely. I'm wondering how I can sell my children and just fund my the next year's worth of games, but that's probably not going to happen.
Sell them to the circus. Yeah.
Or the state, one of them. Everyone, they need workers.
To the mines. Yeah.
Good. So if you want to talk to us about your games, your beers, things you've been playing, things you've been drinking, you can do that at Tanked Up Cast over on almost only Instagram now, I think, which we very rarely use, to be fair. Or go to outoflives.net and look at our lovely faces and the beers that we drink and comment over there on the website, or our YouTube page as well, which is also Out of Lives. You can follow us on Blue Sky at Out of Lives Net. I'm Nova47 over there. And Lucy, where do people find you?
Juicy Loose 9. Come read my non-review of the Game Awards on there.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Good. And we will return next episode for our end of year special. Hooray! Where there'll be a few beers, a few games, some laughs potentially. Hopefully all three of us. Hopefully Dill is around for next week, because I think work will have finished then.
Canada.
So. Yeah. So that's it for us this week. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
www.outoflives.net